Let's get started making this crochet square motif. My materials today are just under 100 yards of this Knit Picks comfy fingering weight yarn in ivory and a 3.5 millimeter hook. Let's go ahead and get started. I've got a slip on my hook and I'm going to start by chaining 6. Now we're going to go ahead and join those chains in a loop with the slip stitch. Chain 2 to bring up the yarn, and this isn't going to count as a stitch, but now we're going to double crochet 26 stitches into the loop. 26 double crochet stitches. I'm going to skip those 2 chains at the beginning and slip into the first stitch at the beginning of the round to complete. Chain 1 to bring up the yarn and single crochet into that first stitch, and now all the way around we're going to chain 3, skip 1 stitch and single crochet into the next. Chain 3, skip and go into the next. So far you should have 12 chain spaces going all the way around. To make our last chain space, we're going to chain 1 and double crochet into the single crochet stitch at the beginning of the round, so we can begin our next round in the middle of the chain space. Chain 3 to bring up the yarn, and we're going to treble crochet 2 together into this same chain space. And now we're going to chain 5, and we'll treble crochet 3 together into the next chain space. That's 3. So now I'm going to chain 5 again, and we'll continue that all the way around. Chain 5 and treble crochet 3 together into the next chain space. Ending with our 5 chains, I'm going to just slip it into this first chain at the beginning of the round above the first petal, and now we're ready to begin the next round. So we're going to slip into this chain space here, chain 1 to bring up the yarn, and for this round we're just going to single crochet 5 stitches into each chain space. So I'll do a couple with you. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Skip the petal and just go ahead and do 5 into the next. We've single crocheted 5 into each chain space. Finish it off with a slip into that single crochet stitch at the beginning of the round. And our next round, it's going to be the same as this one here. We'll start with a chain 1 to bring up the yarn, single crochet. We're going to chain 3, skip a stitch, and single crochet into the next stitch. Chain 3, skip a stitch, and single crochet into the next stitch. Once you have 31 chain spaces of 3 around this round, you'll do the same, chain 1 and double crochet into the single crochet stitch at the beginning of the round. Now's a good time to count. Make sure you've got 32 chain spaces. Next, what we're going to do is create a popcorn stitch. So I'm going to chain 2 to bring up the yarn, and I'm going to double crochet 5 into this same chain space. Turn the work and slip into that first stitch to make the popcorn. And now chain 3. 1, 2, 3. We're going to do the same thing, popcorn and chain 3 into each chain space. So I'll do another popcorn here by double crocheting 5 into this next chain space. And turn the work, slip into that first stitch to create the popcorn, and chain 3. 1, 2, 3. Keep going all the way around. Once we have 32 popcorns, we're going to chain 1 and double crochet into the top of that popcorn stitch at the beginning of the round. Now we're going to begin the next round with 10 chains. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And we're going to double crochet into the same chain space. Whoops. Now what we're going to do is chain 5 and double crochet into the next chain space 7 times. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Single crochet in the next chain space. So that's 1. So we need to do that 6 more times. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's 2. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's 3. Keep going until you've done it 7 times. So you can see we're making it over to the next corner. And now we're going to chain 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And in this next chain space, we're going to double crochet, then chain 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and then double crochet into that same chain space. And we're going to repeat that all the way around. You can see these chain spaces of 7 will create the corners, and then we have our chain spaces of 5 in between. So now we're going to keep going around. You'll chain 5 and single crochet into the next chain space 7 more times, just as we did before. So again, we've done 7 chain spaces of 5. Now again, to make this corner, we'll chain 5 and then double crochet, chain 7, and double crochet into this next chain space. So I did a double crochet, chain 7, and double crochet into that same chain space. All right, keep following that format. You're going to chain 5 and single crochet into the next chain space 7 times, just as before. And then you'll double crochet, chain 7, double crochet into the next corner. And then you'll do 7 more chain spaces of 5 over here. So just keep repeating the format, and I'll meet you at the beginning of this round. We've gone all the way around. I'm going to add my final chain space of 5, 2, 3, 4, 5, and we'll complete the round by slipping into the 3rd chain at the beginning of the round, like so. Now to begin the next round, we want to get into this chain space of 7 we've created. So we'll slip into that chain space. We're going to chain 2 to bring up the yarn, 1, 2, and that's not going to count as a stitch, but now we will double crochet 3 into this same chain space at the corner. 1, 2, 3. Now we're going to chain 3. 1, 2, 3. Now we're going to double crochet 3 into the same chain space. 1, 2, 3. Now in each of these chain spaces of 5, we're going to just double crochet 3 stitches. So I'll double crochet into this chain space, 1, 2, 3. Now going straight into the next chain space, 3 double crochet stitches in each chain space until we reach this corner of 7 stitches. Double crochet 3 into this chain space, chain 3, and then double crochet 3 more, all into this chain space here. 1, 2, 3, chain 3, and then into that same chain space, double crochet 3 more. 1, 2, 3. And we're just going to keep that same pattern going all the way around. So you'll double crochet 3 in each of these chain spaces of 5, Once you get to this chain space, you'll double crochet 3, chain 3, double crochet 3 in the corner. Keep it going all the way until we get back to the start. We're ready to complete this motif with a slip stitch into the double crochet stitch at the beginning of the round. Skip that chain 2, it's not counting as a stitch. Just slip right in there, and voila, your motif is complete. Thanks so much for making with me today. If you enjoy these videos, please like and subscribe as it genuinely helps support me. Remember to share your work and tag me at Mermaidcat Designs.